Internet, good morning. My name, well, that is Magnitude, and aka Steve, and this is a classic Call of Duty commentary. If you guys know anything about me, which you may or may not, I was a big Call of Duty player and big Call of Duty on YouTube guy back in the Modern Warfare 2 days, in the heyday of Call of Duty commentaries. Now, Call of Duty on the internet is sort of, it's kind of just, I mean, it's falling into the same things that all YouTube's falling into, right? You gotta try to hook them with a thumbnail and gotta make it enticing to watch. Back in the day, it was kind of just about the guy talking about some stuff, playing some Call of Duty, and I kind of want to bring that back. I've been talking about bringing that back for like 2 years, but now I'm working from home, so I have way more opportunities to, play some Call of Duty, record some Call of Duty. So, I took to Twitter and I asked some questions of the Twitter base, and I want to answer some of those for you. So one of the questions that I got, actually, I want to answer one of the questions, not some of them, one of them, this one, because it's one I didn't talk about for a while. It was John, aka Pokemon, asked me, after all your years of creating content, what's the most valuable skill you've gained that you've been able to apply to your professional life? I think there's been actually a few skills. I actually had to think about this one for a little while because I don't want to just fire, from the hip with a question that didn't, or an answer that didn't really have any depth to it. I wanted to have a genuine answer to it. And I think one of the biggest things is it gave me doing YouTube has given me a barometer for what is success and what is not success. So on YouTube, a lot of people judge their worth, or if they've succeeded on YouTube with a video based on the views and the interactions you get and the subscribers you get. But I don't really think that is an accurate, for someone like me anyway, I don't think that's an accurate barometer. I think if you post a video that you are proud of posting, that you've worked on, that you're proud of the result, I think you can consider that a success. Because in the professional world, it's generally not up to you to do all the work. If you may, unless you're working for yourself, but in this analogy, so I work in software development. So my work isn't about promoting what I do as well. My work is about doing something that works and that I'm proud of doing. So if I am, let's say I'm working on a bug for something, and my boss, has been working on a bug, and I come back to him and I go, look, this is what I did. This is my thought process why I did this. It works now. I'm done. That's it. I don't then have to go, okay, I got to figure out how to make sure everyone knows about this bug. I have to make sure that this bug reaches the people that it's affecting. I don't have to do that at all, because especially when it's in software development world, the people already know there's a bug, and everybody who's going to be using what you have is going to be looking for that bug fixed anyway. So you don't have to then market yourself. So I think I've learned to determine what is a success and what is a failure. It's really hard to put time into something that you enjoy doing and call it a failure, because the time that you spent doing something you enjoy, I don't think it's time wasted at all. So as long as you can put those things together, as long as you can sit back once you're done with whatever you're doing and go, I am proud of what I did, I think that's a very, very healthy, kind of response to doing anything, because it really kind of shows a maturity that you are about just trying to put together a quality product, and you're not really worried about then that one thing defining you. If you spend 3 hours on a video and it gets like 5 million views, that kind of defines you, right? You're like that guy with the video with 5 million views, and that's what it is. And that's a lot to worry about, trying to make a video that kind of defines you and defines your career, helps your career. But I think learning how to separate, the results from the process, and being able to look at both of those as separate things, and being able to be proud of and excited about the results of those separate things, I think is a very good thing to learn. I've learned that well, because now at this point in my career, I only do YouTube for my own enjoyment. Obviously, I post videos and I'd like them to get views because the extra money doesn't hurt. But it's no longer a top priority of mine to be a full-time content creator. It's weird. Like I don't know if it's consciously, if I'm trying to convince myself, if I'm trying to convince other people, but I seem to have subconsciously made my identity that guy who no longer cares about being a full-time YouTuber. I mention it a lot. I don't necessarily mean to mention it a lot. It's just I want to make sure that that points across. I upload, sure, I make thumbnails. I would love for people to watch my videos, but that's no longer my primary focus. It was for a while, it didn't work out, and now I'm genuinely enjoying what I'm doing because now I can upload whatever I want, and like I don't really care. I'm uploading those sports franchise videos, right? They get, I don't know, 50 views, but they're about just me doing them. I'm uploading them for some extra change. It's a couple. I figure by the time I'm done, a couple extra bucks a month here and there. It's it's an ice cream date with my wife or something. But it's not a big deal because I'm not putting my livelihood and my stock in those. So I'm enjoying doing them. Just like I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying talking about things because I know that this is just something that I do to pass the time. Something that I do to kind of feel more fulfilled in my life, rather than this is something that I'm doing to make or break, my financial future. So, something else that I have learned through YouTube is how to take criticism versus how to take just being insulted. There's a difference. Now, YouTube creates, anonymity among people. It's like N-word on the internet, so people can be as rude as they want, and that's something that you have to realize. I'll go back to, again, so this is related to my professional life. At work, there are many times where I submit a bug that I think is fixed, and my boss is like, "Nah, you gotta do this. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong. This is what's wrong." He's not telling me it's wrong because he's just trying to be a dick about it. Like, he's telling me that it's wrong, that it could be better because that's the truth, and it could. And especially in an industry where you're using your software every day, you want to make sure that it runs as efficiently and as productive as possible. You don't want any. That was terrible. Yeah, that whole life. You don't want any. You don't want anything. You don't want to say you fix something and then you didn't actually fix something, because then your user base will trust you a little less. So on the internet, you'll get people with obviously trolling names, and they'll write things like, "You're a fucking piece of shit and you hope you fucking die." Like, you can't. If you take that, you cannot take that seriously. That's not real. That's not happening in the real world. You're not going to have people running up to you in the street with like a ski mask on and then throw a water balloon at you and then call you, "Yeah, you're a fucking pussy, you piece of shit." Like, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. So it's not something that you ever have to mentally prepare yourself for, because it's just not real. It's not reality. What is real is somebody taking a look at what you're doing critically, telling you what could be better about it, and you accepting it, and you actually benefiting as a person from it. You cannot take criticism as a fault on your work. Only if you do that, you will never grow. You have to be able to take criticism as an opportunity to get better. That is the only way to survive, and I think really any field. Nothing you ever do on the first try will be good enough if you're new to it. If you didn't do something in a long time, eventually you kind of get a feel for it. But especially if you're new at it, or especially if there are a lot of people doing what you do, the first, second, maybe even third time you do something, it might not be nearly as good as it has to be. And that's just the truth. And you have to learn to accept that. And sometimes you might have to do things 2 or 3 times. Sometimes you might have just made something bad. And you cannot fault somebody for telling you that if it'll help you grow. If they're just being a dick for the sake of being a dick, you can write that off pretty easily. But if they're telling you what they... And also you have to weigh if their opinion on it actually makes a difference, right? So if you've been doing... We'll go back to, back to my job. Since I've been, I'm just doing bugs. I've only been here about a month. Obviously, my boss knows way better than me. So if he now there are going to be times where I might know a better way to do something, code-wise. I might just know something that he doesn't. It's not going to be common, but there may, and that's, you can have some discourse about it. But a majority of the time, you got to imagine that, especially since he's been doing this a lot longer, he's pretty much the guy that designed the framework. He'll know what is and isn't a solid solution to a problem. So you kind of have to be able to weigh the opinion of the person giving that advice or criticism. And you have to be able to recognize when it's just someone being a dick. And other times, sometimes you might just have to just indulge people, right? You might just have to say, I understand that you think this is the right way to do it. I don't think it is. And then you can have a conversation about it, and who knows, you might end up finding out you're wrong. So, gotta learn to be humble, too. But guys, listen, if you want to see some more, be sure to leave comments on questions you want me to answer, and stuff you have my thoughts about, or stuff you want to have my thoughts about. And, I guess, give a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and I'll see each and every one of you next time. Good night.